community, and that we care deeply for people regardless of racial identity, age, economic circumstances, immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Our mission is to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. So masks are optional here at the fellowship, so let's respect one another's decisions about face coverings and social distancing. Those of you on Zoom will remain muted during the service, but you can put comments in the chat box and stay on, visit with each other after the service ends. And I understand Nathan may be on Zoom today. Is that right, Nathan? You can be? I don't know. I saw that in my notes, Nathan. It's up to you. So no matter where you are today, sit back and enjoy. So thank you for being with us, and we all welcome you. And now's an opportunity to take a few minutes and greet one another with a fist or elbow bump, or if you're comfortable, a handshake or a hug, and I'll ring the singing bowl when it's time to return to your seat.
What a wonderful day it is to be together in this space, to deepen our connections to community, to learn more about what it really means to be community and our place in it. The invitation is ours to come fully present in this time together, heart, mind, body, spirit. Lois is going to light our chalice for us this morning. While we say together our chalice lighting words, which are on the screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening song, We Shall Be Known by the Company We Keep. It is indeed time now, and what a time to be alive. It's also time to celebrate once again new members to our congregation. And if we're celebrating you as a new member, would you come forward at this time? I'm going to ask you to stand on the carpet so that those on Zoom can see your faces. Would be awesome. And our member extraordinaire will do the introductions.
No. You've all got to get on the carpet so they can see you. The tall one. As usual, if you would please hold your applause until I'm done, I'm going to introduce these people, and I want these nice people, when I say your name, please wave at the crowd so that they know who you are, because I'm starting out with a very nice Nancy Cadigan. Nancy was born and raised in Chicago as an avowed White Sox fan. She was 50 years old when she started pharmacy school, moved to Carson in 2022, and works with the Washoe Tribal Health Center as a clinical pharmacist and vaccine coordinator. She has a much-loved 16-year-old therapy dog, and she also says she loves being a part of this community. Laura Lucier. Lucier? Lucier. En France. Laura has lived in Reno since 2015 and admits to being raised a Presbyterian. Hey, you and me both, by the way. She lives with her roommate, Dora, the doggy explorer. And when not working in sales and as a substitute teacher, she enjoys yoga and aqua classes, ethnic restaurants, concerts, Lahatan and Audubon events, and making new friends. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Tracy Warner, who just showed up this morning and says, I want to join. And we said, you bet. Tracy comes here from Ventura, California. She's been here since 2015. She was baptized Presbyterian. Again, there are a couple of us here. She attended Baptist, though. She found the Baptist much more worthwhile. She works for the city of Reno. She's an admin in IT. She likes to hike, and she has 3 rescue puppies. Yay. Parker. You have to help me with this last name. Parker Elliott Fonachier. Thank you. Parker Elliott Fonachier. Parker comes to us from Oxford, Michigan, and has lived in this area for almost 2 years. He works as a cultivation technician for the state of Nevada, and in his spare time loves being outside in nature, adventuring with their dog, and spending quality time with his lovely fiancée, Amy. Amy's next. Amy Moorhead. Amy has lived in this area her whole life and works as a community health worker at Renown. Her interests include camping, hiking, and collecting tattoos. I'm going to have to ask to see her art. She looks to UFNN as an opportunity to help the Reno Posse and as a place to find community and camaraderie. Both Amy and Parker told me that they specifically wish to thank UFNN for creating a safe and accepting place for them and for others.
This is a great day of celebration for all of us, and we honor your commitment to become members of our vibrant community. We know that you did not come to this decision lightly, and it's important when we do this membership ritual. There is symbolism and meaning in the fact that we ask the commitment first of those who are already members, and then we ask you for your commitment. So I ask members of our congregation, will you now welcome these new members, enlarging the circle of community and embracing the gifts that they bring, and your response? And the new member's response. Accept your welcome, really, with enthusiasm. Bring your gifts and talents place forward to being co-creators. Wonderful. Welcome and congratulations to each of you. You are going to want to take the time to get to know our newest members. They are awesome and they rock, and we look forward to doing that. Thank you so much. We're going to take a moment now and have a little bit of more celebration for our community. We're going to recognize and honor with volunteer appreciation awards a few of the extraordinary volunteers of our community. And I'm going to first ask if she is in the room, if Andrea Coldwell will come forward. Is Andrea in the room? She is in the house. Andrea, you just walked in the room. This is Volunteer Appreciation Awards. Andrea has been our treasurer for the last number of years, bringing all of those systems into the 2020s. And we have a bookkeeping firm that we work with, thanks to Andrea putting all of that in place. Andrea has worked very hard to get us to the point that we are in terms of tracking and knowing where we are at every moment, and we cannot thank you enough. And in that very same vein, Dave Hutchison chairs our finance committee and has, come on up, Dave, don't be bashful. No, Andrea, stay up here. You have to stay here for a minute because people take photos. Dave, in the same vein as Andrea, has been chair of our finance committee for the last few years and has also been part of bringing the service that now mines all of our details accurately, getting that into place, helping us do some longer term planning in terms of finance than probably what we've done in the past. Dave has a wonderful even hand of leadership in what can be sometimes stressful. Finance is stressful. It's stressful in our homes, and it can be stressful here. And Dave has a very even way of keeping us all positive and knowing that everything is going to be okay, and it always is. Dave, thank you. And I also want to recognize, I'm not sure who's going to be taking pictures now, but Lois Bianchi. Lois, as she's coming up, she says, but I don't do anything with finance. No, but you do plenty with stewardship. Lois has been integral on our stewardship committee the past few years, and not only that, but Lois is just here all the time doing whatever needs to be done, whatever. Just in the hallway, I took off at a sprint to go grab something. She said, what can I get for you? What can I help you with? That's just Lois. She's always here doing whatever needs to be done, most particularly and most recently working hard with our stewardship committee. The last one that we want to honor is not able to be here this morning. Betty Holtz, really the founder. She and Jim were founders of our fellowship, and Betty has been on finance and stewardship for decades, really for decades, and helps us keep on trucking on. Jim has had some health issues recently, is doing much, much better. I visited with them last week, but Betty's not able to be here today. But Betty, if you're watching or if you watch this recording, we love you, we honor you, you're a stalwart around here.
She is on Zoom.
We thank all of our volunteers in whatever measure, in whatever area, and we wanted to particularly say thank you to these four today.
You're coming back, yeah. Well, that was wonderful. So this is the time of our service when we offer our bounties to each other to continue the positive and far-reaching outreach to our fellowship and the community at large. So baskets will be passed around to you all here. Those on Zoom, of course, and as well as you here, can text 73256, 73256, putting UUFNN in the message box and hit send. You can also mail a check to the office to right here, 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, 89511, or better yet, just sign up for automatic giving. It's really simple and easy. That's what Lois and I do. There are a couple of different ways to do it, so you can talk to our office manager, Carol, and she'll explain that to you. It's a simple and convenient way to give. Well, one of the many things I really love about this fellowship is that each month we choose a nonprofit to share our plate with. So here's how's it work? Well, as I already mentioned, you can donate by texting, and if you do that, there's instructions on going into an additional contribution to the share partner. Now, if you write a check, we assume you want that to go to the operating fund, but if you make a notation that you want those monies shared with our plate folks, they will honor that. So our recipient for March is the Nevada Youth Empowerment Project. And I believe we have on Zoom today the Executive Director, Monica Dupuy, to give us an explanation of this worthwhile nonprofit. Monica?
Hi there. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes. Maybe some people could just nod their heads. Okay, perfect. I hear a little bit of feedback, so please bear with me. My name is Monica Dupuy. I am the founder and director of Nevada Youth Empowerment Project. And I want to say first, thank you for inviting me. Are you hearing feedback on your end? It kind of sounds crazy from my end. Anyways, we operate a 14-bed housing program by UNR for young women 18 to 24 who are wanting to reroute their lives. These women basically want to most of opportunities that come their way. And we provide assistance on the daily for them to finish school, go to volunteer sites and have successful experiences, as well as finishing a skilled wage certificate at Truckee Meadows so they can afford to pay the cost of living here in Reno and to find their own independent housing. Recently, we have expanded some of our work to basically work on housing development. There isn't a level of affordability that these young women need available in the community. And so we are in for permitting right now at the city to start our dirt work for our 10-unit low-income housing site that will be on 4th Street, right next to the Maverick. So we're looking at 4th and Keystone. If people would like to drive by and take a look, it's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to have half the units for seniors and half the units for graduates from our community living program. That's basically what we do over here. We provide a continuum of care for the young women that we serve. If there's any questions. I can't hear.
Monica, for giving us information on this really great nonprofit. So thank you. Will the ushers please come forward? Well, please join David and me as we bless our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate us ourselves, and these are offerings.
Some days we
So much to be thankful for indeed. Wow. When I visited with Jim and Betty Holtz in their home this last week, one of many things that we got to talking about was Stanford University. Jim had done graduate work there and taught there, and we started to talk about that campus. And it reminded me of my own days there at Stanford University Hospital, where I served as a chaplain in the summer of 1996 when I was in seminary. I had a remarkable experience that summer. I started to say I was assigned. Actually, I volunteered for my area to be the trauma intensive care unit. Those of you who know me know that I tend to just go ahead and jump in. So that was kind of what happened that summer, and it was a remarkable and memorable experience. I was somehow connected to or presided or was with family during something like 30 deaths that summer, and learned so much. Just learned so much. And mostly what I learned is that there's some places and some things in which you just do not get to plan ahead. You just have to be in tune to what is happening, and somehow, if you listen and if you're quiet, you will just know what needs to happen. And so I was part of a chaplain team that summer that was led by a Catholic priest, a wonderful man who was not married to the do's and don'ts and rules and ins and outs of Catholicism that much of the time. And I really loved him and watched him at the bedside of some patients, and watched him renew wedding vows of someone who was passing. And he was just a beautiful soul, and I adored him. And yet, the longer that I spent time there that summer, there were some things that I just didn't feel quite right about in that chaplaincy department. There was a kit of some materials that we had access to as chaplains should we need them. Some things like a communion kit where we to serve communion, some things like that. And they had these little containers that we could anoint folks with oil if they wanted that. And so we got acquainted with these materials and had the opportunity, if a patient desired that sort of thing. And one day I learned, as I was pursuing that there were two little oil anointing containers, one silver and one gold. So I asked a question, and they said, well, the gold one is for Catholics, and the silver one is for non-Catholics. If you know me at all, you know that just did not sit very well with me. So I questioned several times, this is really, are you serious about, yeah, that's the way we've always done it. Well, what if we were to, just look at everybody? No, this is how we've always done it. This is the kit. This is what it is. I couldn't get anybody to really be interested in doing something different. And I knew that I had to do something. I couldn't live with that. So I did the only thing I could do in that moment that I could figure out, which is to say, I have the silver one. And so I wanted everybody to be able to use the gold one. I didn't want to bring everybody down to second-class status and everyone used the silver one. I mean, everyone used the silver one. So I left the gold one. And I never heard anything about it. I don't know. I don't know if they discovered it and replaced it, if they just moved on to everyone using the gold one. I'm not really sure. Now, I'm not recommending that theft is something that we would engage in very often, but I just couldn't find another way in that moment, and I just had to do something. I had to. You know, part of chaplaincy is learning about being who you are and speaking your truth and making a difference and dismantling structures and systems that oppress. And so this has been with me since that time. And it's been, in a way, everywhere that I've been in ministry, it has sat on my desk. And it's been a reminder to me that sometimes you just got to do something to make a change and make a difference. And you just got to do something sometimes that you didn't think you would ever do. And sometimes you're called to do something in a moment that surprises you, and you wonder, am I really going to do that? And so today our service is focused on volunteerism. And so I share that story to say, sometimes we get a nudge or a push or an invitation to do something we didn't ever think we'd be doing. And yet, there it is. And sometimes we step up and we make a difference. And we learn something. And we become more of our authentic selves. And we start to figure out who we are. It's been well documented that people who volunteer are happier people, have more of a sense of purpose in their lives, are more well-connected, are better looking. Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to invite one of our newest members, Hannah, to come forward to share with you a little bit about why she volunteers. And Hannah is a brand new member, joined the last time we took in new members just a few weeks ago, and has already jumped into a couple of fairly significant things. Would you join me in celebrating that Hannah said yes when I asked her if she would do this? I did that right. It's Hannah Fahmy.
All right, well, thank you for asking me. Honestly, when she asked me, I was so taken aback. I would have just said yes to anything. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. That shouldn't be too hard. So I've said this before, but new people. A little bit about myself. I'm from Texas, and I came out to help my grandma. She was lonely, she's moved to Nevada, and I was like, well, I don't know much about Carson City, but let's go check it out. Let's go see what Nevada's like. And my partner, Aspen, came with me, which, you know, ride or die. Decided, okay, we're gonna go to a whole new state and try something. And when we got here, she started looking into going to a community, wanted something community-based. Found UU, she told me about it. It made me nervous. I did not like the idea of coming into any sort of church-like thing with other humans. It scared me. I did not want to do it. So I didn't. And she started to do a couple Zoom ones, and I'm listening on Zoom. I'm half asleep, and I'm listening on Zoom, and I keep popping my head up because, oh, that sounds cute. They sound nice. That sounds lovely. So next thing you know, the next Zoom, I'm sitting in there, but you don't see my face, but I'm sitting there. And I'm getting more excited. I want to know about these people. And I hear a lot of you talk. I'm like, wow, that's inspiration. That makes me want to do something. And so we start coming. I'm getting more involved. And honestly, she's the real volunteer. She's the one who pulled me into this. And I think that's one of the important things, is that you don't know what you're going to want to do or who you're going to want to be around until you give it a go. And now it's like anything we can do to help out or be around, we'd rather be doing that than be at home. So I started volunteering with the nursery. We've started, and Aspen's done the mailing out for doing the, yes, thank you. So we are very happy to be here, and we're really excited to meet everybody. I'm so appreciative of this opportunity, and just to say, y'all are the inspiration. I would not be here without you. It took everybody here to be them brilliant selves for me to say, okay, I want to be part of that too. So I appreciate the time, and I look forward to continue working with everybody.
Thank you, Hannah. We shall be known by the company we keep. Indeed. Hopefully you received when you came in our latest and greatest newly updated volunteer service brochure, and you may peruse that at your leisure if there are places where you're not plugged in yet that you would like to be, or if you just want to learn what different groups do. You know, those of us who have been here for decades, you can still learn about what different groups do. It doesn't mean you have to definitely be a joiner or make a commitment, but learning is really the key. And so today, after the service, there's going to be a little bit of a volunteer fair where various groups are going to be around in this room and down the hallway that you can ask questions. What does it mean? What do you really do? And so I'm going to invite you to take advantage of that today. If you want to plug in somewhere different than you are, if you would like to plug in a little bit more than you are, today's the opportunity to have a face-to-face conversation, get more information, ask questions, and that's what we'll be doing at the close of our service, but kind of as a continuation of our service. Blessed be, and amen.
Each week we stop and reflect with prayer and meditation about those sorrows that affected us personally, as well as the joys in our lives that we can celebrate together. And those on Zoom can put those thoughts in the chat, while those here can fill out these blue sheets of paper. So take time to relax, and breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out, here in the sanctuary and at home. Join our minds, hearts, and spirits together. And I received one blue sheet this morning. It seems to be personal. It was filled out by Lois Bianchi. It says, Dave and Lois are celebrating April 4th for their 59th anniversary. I guess I better take you to dinner. So, and she put an extra note on there because of the weather we've been having, that yes, on April 4th, 1964, it snowed on our way to Lake Tahoe. Well, let us send our energies to those with joys and concerns that are still left unspoken. Send our energies to those suffering from addiction and depression. Reach out to those who need our love and our care. So let's take some quiet time for reflection. As is our tradition, let's place one hand on our heart, the other facing your palm outward, as we gather all those in our hearts and send our love, compassion, and joy where we can, for we are all stronger together. So may it be, and amen. We have a few announcements, but before I start with any announcements, Jackie, do you have an update on stewardship? I'm really curious where we are.
Do I ever? Thank you, Betty. Straight from Betty this morning. We have in pledges 306,595. And we have 19,000 in matches. So we are at 326,526. And we also still have 6,000 in match available. And I'm going to make a quick announcement real quick because I didn't fill out a blue one. Yesterday was my beautiful daughter Amanda's 31st birthday. And today is Kevin and I's 46th wedding anniversary. It's a great weekend.
Anniversaries abounding. It's wonderful. Well, thank you, Jackie. This is great. Great news. So, you know, watch your emails for some of the great announcements that come through every week and sometimes twice a week about all the great things that are happening here in the fellowship. We're a busy place. One of them is that if you want to express your UU values, there's going to be a writing party to elected officials and letters to the editor, and it's going to take place on, right here, April 6th, 5:30, and right here in the other building, the Star King Room, or on Zoom. And Michelle Hamilton and Janet Nelson are heading that up. So look for more information on that. And again, check the newsletter for details. Things like Lily's sale that's going on. She's selling stuff out of her house, trying to get moved. David Shire's, David, your announcement about the chosen faith discussion didn't make it into the newsletter. Is that my understanding? And so you need to do several Hail Marys for that not being in there. And but you're going to do it today anyway. You're going to do it right there in the library, or if nobody shows up, he'll go on Zoom and do it. Okay, thank you. I think there's a party coming up, isn't there? April 14th, is that right, Lois? You're on that committee. What's that about? Is that we're not going to let Karen go away scot-free. It'll be a toast to her, but also a roast. So I understand there's going to be some really decadent desserts there, and April 14th, 6:30 to 9:30, right here. And there might be some hors d'oeuvres as well, but there's going to be plenty to party with. Oh, and don't forget the Reno Posse. Jane, you always need, do you have your stuff here today, or you do? You have your spaghetti stuff? Okay, see Jane, she'll be out front with that information. Okay, there'll be Zoom, folks, stay on for coffee hour, and Reverend Karen.
I'm going to ask those who are inviting conversations today about your team or ministry or committee to go ahead and move to your location now so that folks can see where you are and who you are. The choir is participating in that also. And with apologies to the folks who are on Zoom, I had intended to have this dropped into the chat today so Zoom folks could take advantage of the opportunity to peruse this, and unfortunately that ended up to be only an intention. And so we will make sure that this gets soft copy distributed in the e-blast this week. I wanted to call your attention to a bill that I know that many of us care about. It's the Death with Dignity bill, and that needs some real pushing to get that out of committee and to a vote. It's originating in the Senate, so we need to call our senators early this week leave messages, ask them to get that bill out of committee and to a vote. It's a Senate bill, so it's SB 239. 239. Really, it's not going to have a chance to be heard if it doesn't move from committee to a vote. So they need to know that that's what we want. We want it to have a chance to be voted on. That's the Death with Dignity bill. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really wonderful to see you here. And let's rise in body or spirit for our closing song, I Am Willing. It would seem that we're closing our service, but we're really not. We're continuing it with the conversations about our volunteer opportunities, so please partake of those. And would you remain standing in body or spirit for our benedictions? Would you receive the blessing? Beloveds, the raging fire of love and spirit and courage and audacity in the universe will not be the same without your spark. Go and allow your spark to grow. Blessed be, amen, and namaste.
He doesn't